Well,
Welcome to another episode of the Forgotten Athlete Podcast with your host Joseph. I'm here with Zach. How's it going today?
dude, everything's been great today. How about you?
Doing all right. Cannot complain. It's March, which means we got some March Madness happening in a couple weeks. So we get college basketball. I actually probably gonna catch a few games because the tournament's gonna come out here in Sacramento. I think I'll
Oh,
be out
nice.
here. Yeah. So they have a game every. I feel like they come out every year at the Golden One Center. So I'm gonna go out there, and then yeah, I think that starts in 2 weeks, so at the end of like the last 2 weeks of March. So that's fun. Since the football's gone, we don't really have much action anymore in terms of excitement with sports. I mean, we have
Yeah.
basketball, we have NBA. Um, although I'm not gonna lie, Victor Wembanyama is becoming a joy to watch. I mean, I know this we're focused on football right now, but just kind of
Did you
say
catch last night's game?
against the Rockets when he got 45 dropped on him.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
I
saw,
did.
you watched the
But
game?
he, but
Yeah,
yeah,
Shagun
yeah,
just
yes,
bullied
yes,
him.
yeah, he did. But he did have
Yeah.
seven. He did have like 6 or 7 blocks, I want to say. But yeah, Shane Goon's really physical when he wants to. Like
hmm
when Iduka challenges him to be physical, he plays really well. Like when he plays a little bit bigger, but sometimes he plays too finesse for me. But yeah,
I
the
agree.
I like him a lot. Yeah, I just feel like Wimby is gonna be really good. It's just he is slimmer side. I don't think he's gonna gain that much weight though because he's so long. Where it's like where's the weight gonna go? In a way.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think he would
So
do him well, though.
like
But I
like
think they're going to have to probably move him from the five to,
like a
I'd put him on the
three.
wing somewhere, to be
Yeah,
honest.
like a three
Yeah.
or yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know it might
I
look funny, but
I
he's,
mean
the help that he can do, like, I feel like he
yeah.
can roam a little bit more.
I mean that's what the Lakers do with Anthony Davis. I mean honestly,
Yeah.
he's like a free safety. I mean other than the fact when we play like when the Lakers play like key matchups like Jokic or Embiid, those are different. But when the Lakers are just playing just regular NBA teams without a big man, that's what they do. They kind of have AD just roam around and just play help defense and
Mhm.
just he just and Wemby does that at times, but he doesn't do it a lot. He doesn't do it like consistently. And they have no point guard. Like their offense is very frustrating to watch because it would be
Yeah,
like it'll be like
it's a
Wemby's
lot of one
oh
on one, which
yeah,
is weird watching the Spurs.
yeah, Wimby's like wide open in
Yeah,
the post, and they're just like not throwing in the ball, and
yeah.
like
They don't. Their players just lack vision. It's heck funny.
yeah, it's very bad.
You see him just cutting. You see his movements too, like the
Yeah,
those show it. He'll just put his hands up like through the lane. He's just like
he's
doing pretend layups, and it's like I'm wide open. This would have been an easy play, but you guys don't want to give me the ball type deal.
he's shooting good from threes too. He's like shooting like 40% ever since All-Star break, which is I mean,
Yeah,
only been like
he's
six
great.
seven
He's a
games,
great
but
player. Fun to watch.
yeah,
It looks goofy at first,
yeah, it
uh,
does.
but once you see him, he's
Do
pretty coordinated
do you
for
remember
the size.
those creative players Aaron used to make?
Yeah,
Like like
yeah.
that's what he is.
The tallest frame you can do. It's
We have a brother, and he was not into sports too much, but whenever he played like video games with us, he would always create like these 450-pound players, and they're like 99 speed, they're quarterback, six
the
five,
tallest you can make it, like
like
some
7 feet
quarterback, or yeah, it's
quarterback.
like
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, let's get into the topics today. So we got like I said, NFL free agency, and then we got Russell Wilson. I guess the big news is Russell Wilson, obviously, because it was inevitable. We knew it was going to happen, but it
Mhm,
just kind
mhm.
of happened to us recently. So, do want to get your thoughts on that because I think that's important to talk about right now. What are your thoughts with the Russell Wilson
We'll start
finally
with Russ.
ending? Yeah, let's start with Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I think I think both of us are pretty similar in the sense that we hate when stuff drags out, and it felt like the Russell Wilson situation has been going on since
It's a
the
season.
end of the season last year, like towards the end of the season, not
Yeah,
even week 18. Just yeah, so I'm glad it's over. Um, a lot a lot of blame needs to be shifted towards Sean Payton.
I agree.
Uh,
I
for
agree.
someone like me, I watched a lot of Cowherd last year, and Sean Payton sat on the couch every week. And like, I don't know if Cowherd removed him from his YouTube or not, but a lot of times you would see Sean Payton say, things along lines of, "Hey, Russ Wilson can be fixed."
Yeah, he
Like
did say
what
that.
if I was the coach, like what I would do is I would go look at his past and I would look at, where is he good? What's his best, his best so many plays, and then implement those into the playbook. And it seemed like since he got there, he just either realized, hey, this isn't going to work at all, um, or he just didn't care, but didn't bother. So I'm not sure which one it was, but just the comments, with them kissing babies and beginning, it's like, dude, like keep stuff internal. Like I don't know if you need to publicize this. I know you were on TV for a year and that was fun, but some of the stuff is like locker room should stay in the locker room and not get the public involved. And there was already a lot of criticism from the outside with how the trade went down, and a lot of people poking fun at the Bronco
Mm-hmm.
country, let's ride, you
That's
know,
right.
and like
One country. That's
there's
right.
not, in there's just not a lot of positive momentum going towards them, right? And
I don't
then
think so.
it just, yeah, it seemed like after the blowout, they got, Sean Payton left 70 points scored on them. The team seemed to have rallied around something because the defense got better. The offense started to play with some type of flow. Um,
I
and
think they won like 6 in a row, or so like 5 in a row,
yeah, they
something
went
like
on a
that.
winning streak there, right? And they were in playoff contention after looking like it was going to be, you know, Broncos are in Caleb Williams sweepstakes territory. So it's just it's just mind boggling to me the way he mishandled that, especially his tenure as a coach. It's been pretty long. It's not like he's a brand new coach.
Yeah, I think the thing with Russell Wilson, and before I get to Sean Payton, is the thing with Russell Wilson is the it's the off the field stuff you got to deal with, just because he's a big ego guy. Like not that I don't know if he's egotistic. I think, well, okay, he is egotistic, but he just has a big surrounding. He has a big audience, so you don't really know exactly how to manage that. And Sean Payton, all he had was Drew Brees. Like Drew Brees, he was
I know
not
that's crazy, right?
that guy. He was a community guy. He was a guy that was in the locker room. He wasn't married to a supermodel or superstar or whatever the case may be. So when you look at it like that, I just think that there's a lot of things that with the Russell Wilson situation could have been handled better. And I think with just knowing that, I think this year when the Broncos do figure out their quarterback, whether it be McCarthy, Bo Nix, whoever they're going to draft that number 12
Whoever,
pick,
yeah.
and we can talk about that closer to draft day. But whoever it's going to be, I think he wants some guy that is going to be like Drew Brees, like someone who's going to just hoorah the players. And you can see Russell Wilson trying to do that at times. Like, I mean, we all watch the sound bites where Russell Wilson's like, let's go guys, we got to do this. Don't let up, talk, kind of motivate his guys, but. It was different with Drew Brees. His leadership was different, and I think that's the thing with football,
Russ
specifically with
almost seems though
quarterbacks.
like, I don't know Russ Wilson, but it almost seems like his comes off like
He's
inauthentic. So
trying. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah,
like he knows.
yeah.
It's
I
like
agree.
I know I'm supposed to rally the team. All right,
Let me see.
let's rally the team.
Yeah,
Versus Drew Brees, it seemed really like he was. If you watch this man, he's pregame yelling on top of his lungs, and you would think that
like
he's
he's
like
like
a strong safety
like
or
a
something.
linebacker. Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm like, oh,
yeah,
this is my quarterback. Holy smokes, type deal.
yeah.
But how do
Well,
you not want to go out there and battle for him?
yeah. So I watched Sean Payton interview before the draft, and he was on the not Joel Collette. I can't. Doug, what's his name? Doug Gottlieb. Doug Gottlieb. Am I saying his name
Oh,
right?
Doug Gottlieb.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Doug Gottlieb. He was on the Doug Gottlieb show, and Doug asked him about hey, how'd you guys rally around the 70 point after the 70 point loss? And
sure.
like he just had an answer was it was very like Sean Payton, like he was all like, well, yeah, when you get down by 70, you really just don't even watch the film. You just go to the next week and just kind of start over and just say, hey, it can't get any worse than this. So we just had that mentality where that was it. And we stuck through that mentality. Now, one thing he didn't ask him about was obviously Russell Wilson. I wish he would have asked him about
That
it.
must have been off limits.
Yeah, it's probably why I didn't get that big of a mainstream hit in terms of an
Mhm.
interview. Because I mean, the interview of the Broncos coach is being interviewed, and he hasn't said anything about Russell Wilson's kind of weird. But neither here nor there. I mean, I just think that this was inevitable. I think on the other side of this, where Russell Wilson lands next, where do you think that will be? Because my idea is a
Mhm.
team that has talent and a team that is a quarterback away to push him to the playoffs. Because as and easy division, like he can't go to a AFC West. Like if he goes to the Raiders, he's gonna get like if he goes. I mean, obviously he was in the Broncos AFC West already. Like I don't think he's gonna be successful in the AFC West.
And if he goes to the Raiders, though, I have my feelings towards the coaching disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
But outside of that, where is he ranking the quarterback? Like he's not Mahomes, so he's obviously after 2. But play wise, last year, I know I'm not talking about the future for the next 10 years, so don't go crazy. But last year he played better than Herbert, dare I say?
Yeah, Russell Wilson. Yeah, I think Russell Wilson was the second best quarterback in that division.
Right.
I mean, that's not saying anything.
He has a case. He has a case.
Yeah.
If you want to argue Herbert, what I'm saying is there's a discussion that can be had. It's not like it was so lopsided where you're like, Herbert was so much better. So I think they have a chance. I do think they have a chance. With that being said, in the division, but you got to look at somewhere like the Falcons. I know a lot of Kirk Cousins, right? But just somewhere who needs a quarterback away, doesn't need like someone crazy to come in and do like numbers, or even the Steelers.
Yeah.
But then the thing is, like when you talk, knowing what happened like with his last trade, right? If you go back, they were talking about his supermodel wife wants to live in a big city. She was in Seattle for X amount of years. And that kind of narrows it down if that's the case. But the best football place might be the Steelers because you can truly hide behind a defense. He's great at throwing the deep ball, and they have Pickens who goes deep a lot. I think that's probably the best football fit. What do you say?
Yeah, I think they got that Legion of Boom feel where like they have great talent, but they don't really have that big of a like they don't have I guess TJ is the superstar of that.
He's the team, right?
But
and they already have leadership. It's not like he has to
exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
When he went from Seattle to Denver, they didn't have a leader on the team.
That's what I'm getting at because
that we know of.
Yeah, they don't really need Russell Wilson to be a leader.
Because Cam Hayward,
if he goes to the Falcons, though, they're gonna need him to be a leader. Like they're gonna need him,
right?
They're gonna need him to be a leader because there's no guy in the locker room besides Jesse Bates that I could think of that could kind of just like you're gonna rally behind.
Yeah, because Steelers they do have Cam Hayward, Watt, Minka. Like they have a ton of, and it's all on defense. So really, he just has to kind of get the ball to Deontay and Pickens' hand, and they'll be pretty good.
What do you think about the Vikings? What do you think the Vikings are going to do? A quarterback. I think Kirk Cousins. I don't think Kirk Cousins is coming back.
I mean, it wouldn't shock me if Kirk came back, because you got to imagine Justin Jefferson. He
loves Kirk Cousins.
If Justin Jefferson calls Kirk and says, "Hey, let's free up."
Well, one more time.
You know what I mean? I think that would be big. I don't know if he could be like, okay, I'm going to turn down Justin Jefferson to go play with Drake London. I know, we're in fantasy and people go crazy over Drake London, and he's a cool player, but he's not Justin Jefferson. let's be clear. Jordan Addison, he's not Jordan Addison. Let's be clear. So, in my head, I wouldn't rule out the Vikings.
Yeah, and speaking of Kirk Cousins, let's go ahead and roll it to free agency because that's our next topic. I got the quarterback list here, and we can just kind of talk about the for some reason NFL Network has Jacoby Brissett as a number 2 ranked quarterback. I'm not sure why they do that. Okay. But Baker Mayfield, huh?
Because he's going to the Patriots.
You think so?
That's already it's been reported that the Patriots are going to use him as a bridge quarterback.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, I did not know that. Okay, so Brissett is going to the Patriots. Is it going to be a starter there, or what do you think?
He would be the bridge quarterback there.
So the Patriots are not going to draft a quarterback at 3. Or
I'm just telling you what I'm reading, brother.
All right, because that would be weird.
You can make use, but I can tell you this: Patriots have a lot of holes in the roster. At 3, they draft a quarterback. They're not a quarterback away. It could be another Mac Jones situation. Then 3 years from now, they're drafting another quarterback. Yeah. You do have Mac Jones under contract.
They have a lot of bad contracts too.
So I mean, and plus, people think like who's their coach now? Mayo, right?
Jared Mayo. Jared Mayo,
right? Like he's a at the end of the day, he is
A
a
defensive guy.
Belichick
Yeah.
disciple, a defensive guy. So you got to imagine, like, remember
Like
D'Amico Ryan's last year
yeah.
during the draft? Like all the Texans, we heard Texans want to trade down, trade
Will
down.
Anderson.
And
Will
what did he do? He
Anderson.
ended up trading back,
Oh,
trading up, right? Because
yeah.
he's like, all right, you get your guy in Stroud, I get my guy Will Anderson. Like it's got to be. This does
Yeah.
feel like that to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I
But I
can
think they're
definitely
going
see
to just
that.
trade back.
I just don't
Yeah,
see any defenders besides the defensive lineman from Utah. I'm sorry, from UCLA and Utah. There's two linemen.
yeah. And then they
That
offense. You're talking
talking about defensive lineman. Defensive lineman. I just
defense.
don't
Okay.
know. I just don't know. I mean, I know there's Odd, and then there's the guy from Washington, who's available. But I just
And
don't
then the dude
understand.
from Florida State.
Florida State, yeah, Florida State.
Yeah.
Who's a
So
freak. So, there's a lot of talent in terms of the draft. So I think Patriots are in a good position. The third quarterback on this list is Baker Mayfield. Obviously Mike Evans just got signed back with the Buccaneers. I'm getting really tired of this trend where these players are trying to play hardball, trying to say they're, and then they end up re-signing back with the team that they were gonna leave. I'm getting
it's
tired of that because
negotiation.
every single time they always post the same Wolf of Wall Street. I'm coming back on, and
I mean,
it's just getting old.
that
It's just
scene was
getting old.
incredible.
It was
That scene
incredible.
was
It was
right.
a great scene, but I'm getting tired of that same old video posted by every single athlete. Like we need another video. That just lets me know that the movie industry does not have any great movies that we reuse their stuff from 10 years from now. Like that Wolf of Wall Street is going to be used for years and that. But anyways, Baker Mayfield, what are your thoughts? What do you, because right now I believe there has been some talks and just estimations that the he's going to get a Geno Smith like contract, just a little bit higher scale, just because that he did win a playoff game. So what are your thoughts on Baker Mayfield? What
Everybody,
do you
I saw Bowles wants him back.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
he
Yeah.
wants to go back. Like, yeah. I mean that. I think this one's a no-brainer. It's probably why he's ranked third because everyone knows he's gonna stay. There's nothing to really talk about, right?
Yeah. And we have Jameis Winston, Gardner Minshew, Tyrod Taylor. So this is kind of
Exactly.
this is a very weak QB market, by the
Yeah.
way, for free agency. Now, obviously the draft is not, but this is where we get really interesting, the running back position.
The running backs are
And
wild. Like
because
who's gonna get cashed out the most?
this is like Madden free agency. When like all these running backs just like enter the free agency market. Like you got Nick Chubb into the free agency market. You're like, what the heck? Nick Chubb's on the free agency market? What the heck? But this is the reality of the NFL. And I really want to know because I listen to Mina Kimes' podcast sometimes. She's a really good,
Yeah.
she kind of scales it out really good. But she was talking about she really wants to know who's going to be the first team to not sign a large deal for a receiver, just because like there's been an influx of talent coming in at the receiver position. So she's like, well, who's going to be that first team? And I think we're
Well,
seeing
I
that
mean,
for running
I want
backs.
to pause you. I want to pause you. We've seen that already.
Yeah, with the Eagles, or sorry, with the
We saw
Titans.
it with the Eagles, AJ Brown, right?
Yeah,
You're right.
we saw it with the
It didn't work.
Ravens. We
That
saw it
one
with the
didn't work out.
Ravens. Saw it with the
But we also
Ravens.
saw, yeah, right with Hollywood, and then we
Hollywood
also saw
Brown.
with the Bills, and when they took over Diggs, the
Yeah,
Vikings said, we'll trade you Diggs.
that's
We
true.
kind of don't talk about that one because the Vikings end up getting Jefferson. So it's like holy, like all right, it can
Yeah,
work out. But
yeah,
then so
that
people
is
are
true.
teams have been doing it. Teams have been doing
That
it.
is true.
So
That is true. But back to the running back position in terms of
yeah,
just figuring out what the market is. So I'm assuming right now that Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs will be in different homes this year. There's been Derrick Henry being linked to the Ravens. He's 30 years old, has a lot of juice on him. Ravens they have an RBC. They perfected the running back by committee. What do you think about the running backs right now? We could start just talking about all three of them, just because this is the deepest position we have, I think, for free agency.
well, it's cool, right? Because name recognition, these guys have like huge names. But are they usually we see those guys with big names go first, in free agency?
Yeah.
So I'm curious, is like, are they going to be going first, or are they going to be waiting around for money?
No. They're
Like, because
not. There's no way, because if you look at the other running backs, there's Tony Pollard, there's DeAndre Swift, there's Eckler, there's
do those
Dobbins,
guys go
and David
first though?
Singletary.
Because those
They're gonna be
guys are going to
cheaper. They're
command a
gonna be
smaller
cheaper.
salary.
Yeah, they're
That's
gonna
what
be
I'm
cheaper.
asking.
I think Devin Singletary is gonna be the man to get. I will say J.K. Dobbins is probably not gonna get signed by anybody. He's
Hmm.
gonna have to get a minimum just because he's tore his Achilles. tore his
Yeah,
ACL. I mean, he's just
I
unfortunate
hope the Ravens
for him.
bring him back.
But I just feel like with Eckler coming in at 29, 30 years old, having one of his worst seasons after just talking all that smack, trying to get paid. It
He might
just
not get a home
I
until
that,
the
that
season starts.
that's what I'm saying. Like I don't even think he's gonna get a contract. So I do think it's very top heavy between Jacobs, Barkley, and Derrick Henry. I will say Jacobs is probably gonna be the more premium back who gets paid the most. I would assume, just because he's the younger back and he also is the probably most talented back out of the group.
Doesn't he
It,
fit the Raiders?
he does, but I
Like what
don't.
Pierce wants?
But I mean, we've talked to a lot of people, and people are saying that you know Raiders don't want to. Why bring back a guy and pay him 12, $13 million a year when you have Zamir White who had 300 plus rushing yards the past 3 games. So
Yeah.
it just doesn't make sense. So this is where the economics of the NFL kind of gets in the way, and it's going to be a team like a team that drafts who doesn't have a quarterback. Like for Barkley, for example, I think he's gonna go to a team that doesn't have a flying chance to win any games next year. Like I don't think he's gonna go to a contending team. I just don't. I don't see a team paying
Well,
a premium price for a.
speaking of the economics, I do want to touch on that because if you look at, he did play in. I don't know anything. I'm not an inside source guy, but I just think kind of logically here. He played in New York, a state where taxes are extremely high.
That's true.
And you have to imagine he wants to live in a state, or he would prefer playing in a state where the taxes seem to be a little lower. So I think that gives us a few different states, right? Florida, Nevada, possibly, right? Texas. So one of those football teams. That's what I would be thinking is where they're going to go. And then from there, you look at the money, the economics of it. The Raiders, they're in, talking with Jacob still. I don't know if they would do that. That just seems kind of weird. We're not going to pay Jacobs. We'll pay Saquon.
Yeah.
When, yeah, I don't know. I don't see that, right?
I don't see
the
it either.
Cowboys. The Cowboys, I don't think have money. Texans, I think that's a possibility. And then if you look at the Jaguars, they have ETN. The Dolphins, they have a bunch. They're fine running back. So
I think
Texans.
I
I think
think
I'm
they
narrowing down
might
Texans.
I think they might
Texans
get
makes
it.
sense.
I think they might get Elijah Mitchell, the Dolphins. I
I can
think
see
Elijah
that. They
Mitchell is
Shanahan.
a free agent.
Yeah. So
Um,
I think Texans though for
but
Saquon.
yeah. Texans is a good fit. I think for Derrick Henry, I think Ravens. I would say that's the only
Right? That
logical.
seems too easy.
It does, but I
Right?
mean, you get Lamar with Derrick Henry. I mean,
I feel like
that's
that's
an
a
amazing
powerful.
player,
Yeah.
and you're not
Because
really. I mean, you only gave Odell Beckham a 1 year deal, so you don't have to pay him. I mean, obviously you paid Lamar Jackson, but you don't really. I mean, I would assume Derrick Henry signs for, $10 million. I would say
I got another one
11
for you.
million. What's up?
I know he's not going to go here because the uniforms just don't match. But if he ended up with the Green Bay Packers, I think that would be pretty strong.
Who are we talking about? Derrick Henry?
Derrick Henry, I want
Uh,
Derrick Henry
it
because
just
you have Jordan Love who can air it out to all those wide receivers, spread them out, and then you have Henry who it takes multiple people to bring that man down. Still, like I think that'd be he'll be what AJ Dillon was
yeah.
supposed to be.
I was about
They're
to say that
you know
they're gonna
like
get
that.
who AJ Shadil was supposed to be.
Yeah,
I'm
it's like
literally
no,
about to
this
say
is
that.
like and if they do that, I think that in my opinion, I think that moves the Packers up way up in the NFC because now you would have him and I'm thinking I'd keep Aaron Jones too and just run with both of them. They're both old, so let them both kind of split carries, and then you have a great quarterback with great wide receivers. I'm I love that for me personally. I think that would be great because then now you're a contender.
And then for Jacobs, I mean, I know we really didn't talk about it, but I feel like he is the perfect Raider fit. I don't know where else he would go to make a lot of impact. Maybe the Browns, but Browns ain't got no money. I'm thinking
Yeah,
Bengals, but Bengals are talking about
they're
they're gonna
talking about
cut Joe
getting rid of
Mixon.
Mixon unless he fixes his money.
I think they're gonna cut him regardless because they restructured his contract earlier before the season even started, and
Who's
yeah,
going to be their
so
starter?
your boy Chase Brown,
Could it be my guy? Could it be
second
my
round pick.
guy?
Wow, I
I was
should have
just,
held on to him.
yeah,
I drafted really well, by the way, in that last year's
you
draft
did.
for as many picks
Hank
that I
Anthony,
got.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the receiver position. So I'm not too positive. I don't think Brandon Ayuk is a free agent this year.
No,
I think
no,
he's a
he's not.
restricted free agent. Like so, like
He's still under contract.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm not gonna talk about him just because the Niners are gonna sign him, re-sign him this offseason. So let's talk about the three guys that are kind of like headlining this: Calvin Ridley, Hollywood Brown, and Gabe Davis. Curtis Samuel's on this list, but I mean, let's be
Who gets
honest.
the most money out of the three?
That's what I was gonna talk about. I think Gabe Davis. I personally think Gabe Davis. I think someone's gonna give Gabe Davis a Christian-like contract where he's gonna get like 18 mil per season on
Holy
average.
smokes!
I don't think Marquise Brown is gonna get paid that much. He can't stay healthy. He hasn't been productive, and he's not QB proof. Calvin Ridley. I think Calvin Ridley's in a tough situation because he's 30 years old and he's coming off his probably worst season. But it's a season that
he hadn't played for a year.
Exactly.
Like people you gotta relax.
But you know how the NFL is. The NFL is gonna hold that against the guy. I mean, look at Michael Vick came. Remember Michael Vick came back from prison? Like the dude was playing for Vitt. He had to have 2 great seasons in a row to get paid that $100 million contract.
I'm like, people
the
need to
NFL
relax.
is gonna hold this against you. But yeah, I mean, I still think Ridley's a baller. I just think that Trevor Lawrence just deflated because first 7 games of the season, Calvin Ridley was top 10 receiver. Like he was balling, and then he just down spiraled. So
they have a lot of guys. Last year we're talking, right? They had a lot of guys who thought they were going to come into the year and get the ball. Like Ridley, he expects a bunch of targets. Ingram, like Kirk, even Jones, like Zay Jones, he expects to get targets. That's why he went there. So what I'm curious about is if they bring him back at all. And I know it'd probably be best for his career because he can be in the same offense for, the second year in a row. And then Trevor's pretty good. He's not my favorite quarterback, but he's certainly off my least favorite. So
yeah, I agree. I just think that there's too many guys here. There's too much talent in the draft to overpay, but some team is going to overpay because they don't have picks, so they can't draft these guys.
Yeah, Panthers.
So yes, Panthers may
Panthers
overpay.
need receivers.
That's a good point. Panthers probably going to overpay for one of these guys.
They might get a couple of them, Gabe Davis or something.
And Adam Thielen is obviously still there, but he's probably going to get his contract cut.
At this point, he's not a number one though.
Yeah, he's not.
They need an alpha.
He's a safety net guy. Let's get to the
defense. Cool.
Let's get to the defensive side because I do want to kind of talk about Chris Jones. And there's another guy on here that I didn't realize was a free agent, Daniel Hunter. So one of the best pass. Yeah, he's a free agent. Yeah, so he's one of the obviously best pass rushers in the league, if not the best. He's debatably up there in the top 5, top 10. I don't know where he goes, but there's a lot of teams that could have used more pass rushing last year. And obviously we can go on a list where from, just looking at it from a passing lead perspective, he had 16.5 sacks last year. So, and he held out last year. So he's going to get a long-term deal from somebody, maybe like a 3-4 year contract. I think he's going to demand a lot. Do you see anybody that would overpay for a pass rusher? Because I think that there were teams like the Bills, for example, they don't have any money right now.
They cut. You saw they cut their entire secondary today.
Yeah. So
they're trying to do something.
So I think they're paying Von Miller's holding a lot of cap. Josh Allen's obviously holding a lot of cap. Diggs is holding a lot of cap. So, and you can restructure all these contracts all you want, but at the end of the day, you got there's only so much
the Saints
money.
make it work. Saints will make it work. Any other team can.
With the defensive side of things, it's hard to talk about just because it's not fantasy related, so it's hard to kind of get interest from it. But it's still football at the end of the day, so we have to talk about it.
Danielle Hunter was my IDP last year, so it's fantasy related.
Okay, there we go. But yeah, so what are your thoughts on where do you see him going?
I mean, I don't know who I haven't looked at the salary cap, so I mean, I have no clue where you would like to see the guy.
So salary cap wise, I would say
I assume he's going to go back to Minnesota. That's what I would.
You know where I like? So I'm not looking at the salary cap. I can pull it up, but the way I can see it is the Bears drafting him. I'm signing him. They just invested
a lot of money on the defensive line.
That's what teams do. When they're desperate for wins, Ryan Poles, he's going to be desperate. He's going to be on the
They're
hot
gonna
seat
have a
next
rookie
year,
quarterback
especially if they get Caleb
salary.
Williams. So
Yeah,
they're going to have to spend a lot of money. And I know that Chris Jones obviously is going to be a free agent this year. We can talk about him. What do you think about Chris Jones? Do you think the Chiefs sign him back?
yeah. I don't think they would, flirt with the franchise tag and end up acting on it with Snead if they had an idea that Chris Jones was not going to commit long term.
Yeah,
So I think
agree.
I think they have something on the verge of signing or language maybe that they have to figure out. But I think they're close. So I don't think he's going to go anywhere.
Yeah, I could see a 2-year, $60 million deal.
Holy moly.
45 guaranteed. I mean, I just look at his
he's the closer. He's the closer.
His franchise tag is worth $30 million.
Yeah.
So he's gonna ask for at least that amount annually because
the unfortunate thing is,
and someone's gonna pay.
Snead's gone. Snead is gone. That's the only thing I'm sad about.
Yeah, I think McDuffie can kind of replace him though. I mean, I think McDuffie he's an all-pro corner. He's physical like Snead is. So I think McDuffie learned a lot from Snead while he was there, but I mean you can't bring back all your veterans. I mean, this is the thing with the NFL, which is why it's so
we lost Ward a few years ago.
Exactly.
So I'm very familiar.
So
but I mean, you just hate to see these guys go.
So there's talent wise, I didn't know Devin White's gonna be a free agent this year. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Willie Gay, he's gonna be a free agent this year.
Yeah, Willie Gay, he's probably gonna go on.
I think he's gonna get a big deal from somebody. Someone's gonna pay him big money. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to just bring up free agency just because it's about to start on the 13th. So there's gonna be a lot of signings. And obviously, we'll kind of talk about the recapping of that, which is probably gonna be better for us anyways. Just because it's hard to predict what teams are gonna do, just because there's a lot of teams.
There's always a dark horse too.
Exactly.
There's somebody having a conversation right now. Like, I don't know. We don't see a whole. The Commanders might be talking to Saquon or something, and we're just gonna be like, "Holy smokes, the Commander! We thought you were cool at running back." So yeah, to your point, we don't know, man.
Yeah, I just think that the NFL free agency is becoming. I think it's the biggest. I think it's bigger than any event. I think, and it's
the draft.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. You're right. The draft.
Yeah.
But and I'm talking about free agency in terms of every.
I watched the combine for 3 days or something.
Yeah, I'm talking about free agency for every sport though, because
you think it's taking over NBA?
NBA for sure. I mean,
that's a big statement.
I just don't think anyone cares about.
We've seen LeBron change teams, KD change teams.
So look at how long it took James Harden to find a team. I mean, that dragged on for months. I mean,
which time?
Exactly. So, but yeah, I'm looking at the cap space right here, and it looks like the Commanders have $96 million available in cap, which is ridiculous.
You see what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna use it.
80 million. The Patriots have 78 million. Wow. So a lot of bad teams have a lot of money, which is not good for the NFL. This is not good. Because
this is what we want.
No,
because this way the bad teams come good.
Davis is gonna get $25 million guaranteed. Someone's gonna pay this guy a lot of money.
The Patriots is good. They're like, hey, come here and score 3 touchdowns for us in one game.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is gonna be bad for the salary cap is increasing though. So what do you? I guess we can talk about that for the last 5 minutes. What are your thoughts on the salary cap increasing? Because I just feel like people are just still talking about paying running back $10 million.
Joseph,
like, where's the money going?
I watched the combine this weekend, and they interviewed a few of the GMs. Right? I watched. Who did I watch? Those guys.
Brett Veach?
I'm drawing a blank.
He was on there. I mean, Brett Veach.
But I just know a couple of GMs were on there, right? And they all said similar things. The salary cap increased much more than what they had expected it to go up. So you're gonna have someone out there that is gonna be, hey, remember we didn't want to spend $25 million a year on a receiver? Let's go ahead and do it. Like, let's go ahead and do it. So Gabe Davis, is gonna get overpaid. And then people are going to be like, oh, my gosh, he's not living up to his salary. But then it goes both ways, too, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't it, Joseph? Because Christian Kirk got paid. and we
Yeah.
were all like, "What in the world?
Why
How
did he
the
get paid
heck
so
is
much
this
money?
guy?" But hey, he proved it the first year
He
in
did.
the
And I
contract.
mean, he proved it a little bit. He proved it a little bit this year. He got a little bit hurt, and obviously the Jaguars'
Well, yeah, and
offense
then Ridley came
declined.
too, so I understand. But he
But
proved that
he's
he's worth the money.
productive, yeah.
Yeah,
And we mentioned the Carolina Panthers. They only have $13 million available right now.
Don't
And
worry, man. You look at the
they
wrong things.
so no. I bring that up.
The Saints had zero
I
money,
bring that up to say this.
and they make it work
I bring it up to say this, that David Tepper needs to get rid of that.
because
Get rid of the team, because remember a couple years ago where the
you gotta
Rams.
get rid of. You
Remember
just
a couple
got
years
it.
ago, the Rams offered the Panthers like 3 firsts for Brian Burns, and they were like, "No, we're gonna pay him."
Allegedly, but sure, I don't know if it's
No, it was
back
3
then. I wasn't
firsts.
there.
It was
I
3
wasn't there.
firsts.
I wasn't there.
Anyways, it was 3 firsts. So they declined the trade, and they never paid Brian Burns. They franchise tagged them.
Franchise him.
So I just don't. So they franchise tagged him again this year too. So
Yeah.
it's just there's just a lot of stuff going on with the NFL that obviously we don't know about, which more will be revealed, I guess. All right. Well, that's it for today. We're gonna cut it off for right now. We'll talk next time. This is we record this on Wednesday. Probably gonna drop it on Thursday morning, so look out for it then. I mean, obviously you're gonna see it then. So, but yeah. Zach, you have anything last thoughts?
No, I'm excited for someone to overpay. We're gonna find out who some offensive line I never heard of is gonna get $80 million.
Yeah. Well, Tyrone Smith, he may get paid.
No. I said someone I
Like
don't know. So
like
I've never
2
heard of.
years, $70 million.
I'm gonna look at.
Someone's gonna do like a short-term contract with a lot of money. I already know it. All right. Well,
All right, man.
until next time.